And just because I watch a video or parts of a video doesn't mean I'm a stalker.
Bitch, what the fuck? Bitch.
It's the only word that accurately describes the man, and we can demonstrate just that. Everybody thinks he's an asshole. Son of a bitch. Well, that's good too.
Shut up! What the hell? Court's adjourned. In my chambers. Now.
My mother died.
What proof do you have that your mother died?
My mother did not die. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I'm not going to get myself criminally in trouble. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Rolling deep, trying to spark a fight. Ecosystem of hate lost in the night. Paint chips, disbar, law dreams in the mud. Lips clout chasing, her vid straight dud. Bubbles pumped out, left clients to bleed. Fleece out, poser, filing junk, no creed. Gunning for Jeremy Hales, trying to kill his fame. But they foul ass hearts lit their own damn flame. Ecosystem of hate, yo, they crash and burn. Crews falling off, no clout to earn. Thought they snatched Jeremy's crown, no cap. Turned on each other, now they stuck in the trap. Backstab screams, they bond straight trash. Ecosystem of hate, dreams dead in the flat. Paint chips, logs, tank, no view, straight whack. Lips, cloud chase, rants, getting no playback. Bubbles unhinged, losing it, he wildin'. Hate slips, most calls are dumb, no styling. Listens, fake filings, poser moves all lame. Y'all garbage, bubbles roar, spit and flame. Their hate fuel, plot flop, left them in the cold. Jeremy's ballin' while their schemes getting old. Only me, big whale, dropping stacks for the cause. But their petty ass beef gave him reason to pause. Y'all clowns, he barked, peeled out, no love. Took his bread and bounced, left them broke shove. War chest dry, dreams thin as a blade. Ecosystem of hate got played, now they fade. Ecosystem of hate, yo, they crash and burn. Crews falling off, no clout to earn. Thought they snatched Jeremy's crown, no cap. Turned on each other, now they stuck in the trap. Backstab screams, they bond straight trash. Ecosystem of hate, dreams dead in a flash. Bubbles, paint chips, lips, fleece of the squad. Ecosystem of hate, straight fraud, no nod. Thought they'd eclipse Jeremy, shine, big star. Tore themselves down, that's who they are.
Oh, crap. I'm muted the whole time. Muted boomer. You can check that off on your bingo card. I was speaking, but yeah, that didn't go well. Anyway, welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm Megan Fox, medium smart journalist who mutes herself and doesn't unmute.
I thought there was something wrong with one of the videos. So that I was looking up yet.
No, nothing's wrong with the video. I was just muted because I was all excited. What a great song, though. That song hits hard. I love it.
I just learned something really, really funny.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
That Ray Bone Crusher thinks that Leslie is ADA protected.
Why?
He says it in his transcript. I mean, it's right there. He was like, and she is ADA protected by federal law and law for an affliction she was born with. They really think.
They really believe this.
You know what amazes me though? She's allowed to fuck around with other people with mental illness. They're not ADA protected. None of those people were.
Right? Oh, and we're gonna get to that tonight. Yeah, we're gonna get to she. I have evidence tonight that she extorted someone with a mental illness. Yeah, it's bad, guys. It's real bad. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the super tips. I was listening to Just J Hip. You know, he got me thrown off my game. It took forever to get to the flea cap. And then he went like way into like almost 8:15. Like, Jay, you got to back it up a bit so I can get ready for my own show. Or I'm sitting here just listening to you like a dumbass. You know? Like you have to back it up just a little bit. That's why I was on you to like get to it. Can you go now, please? Oh, he's encroaching. He's encroaching on our time. And I don't know. I've had it with your pretend co-host is all I'm saying. This is all your fault. You know, you gave him rope. And now I'm probably going to hang him with it. It's going to be your fault. I'm going to be like, well, you know, this is Tug's fault. He shouldn't have indulged you, but he did.
Well, everybody needs to be able to jump rope.
All right. So I've pinned the super tips to the top of the chat. Please do visit them if you have Starbucks money you want to give away this week. I would appreciate it because I regret to inform you. I have been driving my Dodge Caravan into the ground. I told you all that. I'm driving a rusted minivan. I don't care about stuff like cars. As long as it gets me from point A to B, I'm good. Although when I had to take it to the dealership today, I'm not going to lie, they have a brand new Dodge Charger that looks like a 1970s. Oh God, it's beautiful. It looks kind of like a Chevelle. It's the brand new Charger. God help me, I want that car. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it was that 70s green, and I just wanted to get in it and drive away with my Farrah Fawcett hair. Anyway, my car, the transmission's been going all summer. And I'm like, okay, I just got to get you to spring. If I can get you to spring, we'll be good, because that's when we planned on getting a new car. And the car's like 20 years old. You know, what are you going to do? And yesterday, it refused. I think it lost a gear. Is it bad, chat, when you put your foot on the gas and the RPMs immediately go to 5? Is that bad? And even if you're going downhill, it doesn't downshift? Yeah, I think that's bad. I think that's a bad sign, because that's what was happening to me yesterday. And I was like on the phone with the guy at the Dodge dealership, like, I think I have a problem. It's been slipping for a while. But it never did that until yesterday. And I was like, oh no, am I even going to make it to the dealership? So yeah, I dropped my car off, and now I have a rental. I got a pickup truck. It's a Ford. I'm kind of loving it. And, I think the only thing I love about it, I really don't care what the car is, but it hooks up to my phone, remotely, or Bluetooth, or Bluetoothy, or whatever you call it. Can you believe these people call me a hacker? I don't even know how a phone
Bluetoothy
car. Yeah, I don't even know.
boy.
I don't even know how that works. And
they
they
should
think
talk
I'm
to you about 5 minutes about tech. They will never call you a hacker again.
You know what? Honestly, I do. I need transmission money. That's what's going to happen tonight. So instead of breadstick money, please send transmission money. That would be great. Anyway, we are going to have a Rumble exclusive tonight. Please do get the Rumble link. It's in the description of this video, and get ready to go over to Rumble. I do have a number in my head that I would like to reach before we get there, and I have plenty of stuff to go over that is YouTube safe before we go to Rumble. I have information to go over that Leslie Ferderigos will not be able to hit me for on YouTube. Whereas what we're going to play on Rumble tonight is stuff that she would say was an invasion of privacy, which is false, of course, but I don't feel like dealing with the bots. We are going to play video clips. We are going to play her own words showing you who Leslie Ferderigos is. Now, Leslie has carefully curated, and those of you who know who Leslie Ferderigos is, I don't have to explain it, but if you're new here because of my tweets today, and there could be some new people here because of those, I did tweet out a few things, teasers of what we were going to talk about tonight. Leslie Ferderigos is a person who thinks she is allowed to criticize and harass and intimidate and stalk anybody she wants to in horrific ways. But as soon as you criticize her or mock her or ridicule her back, she sues you. She did it to us. She sued us twice. with no intention of following through and dismissed it. I have evidence that she had no intention. We'll play that later on Rumble. But she thought she was going to get away with it, like she's done it to many, many people before, where she files these lawsuits and then she drops them with no intention of following through, basically saying she feels she's been defamed, and so she will file a lawsuit to defame the person defaming her, and then withdraw it so that it's on the public record.
And the stuff she calls defaming her, by the way, are things like, clients that feel that they were their cases and everything else around them mismanaged, or family, because just family didn't walk lockstep.
Family being worried about her, family being worried about her children. And, I think that's how we're going to start this out, is that her family has been maligned. Leslie Ferderigos has not only sued her family publicly, but she has posted about them on all of her social media pages, especially her mother and her mother-in-law. She's very focused on both of these women, and she has made terrible videos about both of them. She has made horrible posts about both of them. And her family, up until tonight, has never had a chance to respond. And they have been scared to respond, because anytime they engage with her, the attacks on them get worse. But I think what we learned with the Laura Owens case, her family enabled her, and they are still enabling her even through 14 felony indictments. Lips's family, Leslie's family, on the other hand, does not enable her. They went no contact with her. And they did reach out to me. And we've been talking for many months. And finally, now, her father is ready to come forward and tell his side of the story. He wrote a letter. It's a beautiful letter. I want to read it to you all, because he's never had a chance to combat some of the lies that she's put out there about him and his wife, Leslie's mom. And it was really, I just want to say that it's been really unfair that they've been in silence and they've been alone. And from my talks with them, it's been very hard on them. Leslie's parents are in their 70s. They are not in great health. They're stressed beyond belief because of it's not just this situation. Her family has been under this kind of stress that Jeremy Hales has been under because of Leslie for years. And no one they've ever told has ever believed them. That's another thing that really is unbelievable to me, because we see how she behaves. And as soon as I heard from them, I believed them immediately, because I've seen the way she behaves.
Right.
Yet the people in their communities and the people that she would go to and tell these crazy stories to, they would believe Leslie. So they've felt very alone, and they felt very unsupported. And I just want to say that ends now. We support Leslie's family, and there are many of them. Her dad, though, is the one who wants to set a record straight. So let me start out by reading the letter that her dad has written. Dr. David Boers and his wife Kathleen both were raised in blue-collar homes with no fathers during their early and later childhood due to divorce and early death. Both David and Kathleen began working part-time in junior high to help support and save for future college. While working, went to a middle-income state college, paying for their own education. After college, they married and had a combined income of $18,000 a year. After being married for 3 years and having one child, Leslie, the couple decided that David would apply to graduate school while Kathleen would remain working full-time as a junior high teacher to support the family. During the first 2, and you know what's crazy? Kathleen worked at a junior high right by my house. The junior high I would have gone to if we had stayed in that neighborhood and not moved and gone to private school. But how crazy is that? That's how close this family was to mine. They were living in the same neighborhood. Nuts. During the first 2 years of graduate school, David also worked full-time as a janitor and part-time in a lumberyard laborer and also as a painter. David was accepted to Loyola Dental School full-time, while Kathleen continued to support the family. During this time, they accumulated a considerable amount of school debt. During the last 2 years of dental school, and within months of graduation, David and Kathleen had 2 more children. The couple relocated to Florida, having arrived with $200,000 in debt from school and no income. They borrowed $200,000 additional to buy an existing dental office and struggled financially for several years to build the practice and pay debts. During this time, the couple each worked 50 to 60 hours per week, enrolling their children in private schools and dance lessons. For several years, the couple did not take extended vacations so as to provide for their children's activities. Over the years, as their business grew, they continued to provide every opportunity to their children while still both working in the office 40 to 50 hours per week. Now, let me stop here for a moment and tell the chat why David is telling this story. You all know that Leslie had a podcast, or some of you might know that Leslie had a podcast where she was on with those other 2 people and they talked about her background. She claimed that she came from poverty. She's claimed multiple times that she came from a very poor background. Now, what I'm about to tell you is going to just destroy that narrative. Okay, here we go. Leslie had 3 different cars during high school, attended the most expensive private high school in Orlando, was enrolled in extensive dance and acting schools, lived in the most prestigious area of West Orlando, and was given an extremely wealthy lifestyle. Unfortunately, based on the effort to give Leslie everything that the parents could only have dreamed of in their own childhood, David and Kathleen created an attitude of entitlement in Leslie. This has continued on throughout Leslie's adult life as well and has resulted in demand and hatred toward her parents when not receiving financial and attention demands. I just want to say, this is so painful. Imagine how painful it is for a father to write this, to say, we tried to give her everything and it turns out that was a big mistake. And you know what? I just want to say to you parents out there who tried your hardest, it's not always your fault.
Yeah. You can't. You can give somebody every opportunity. You can also instill them with all the morals and everything else that you think they need, but with Leslie, especially, Leslie is mentally ill. She admits she's mentally ill, but she is the type of mentally ill that I personally believe, again, I'm not treating or I'm not diagnosing her. I'm just saying, I believe she showcases extreme personality disorder. And some of that is probably, it's probably excused by, well, these days mental health coddles you. Oh, you're off your medication. Oh, you threaten people. Oh, you did all these horrible things. It's okay. It's not okay, though. It's not.
It's not. And I want to also say to David and Kathleen, you gave her all of these things, but you gave your other children the same things.
True.
And your other children did not turn out to be like this. I know you have a close and loving relationship with your other children. So that proves that you can give a child everything that they ever wanted, and they don't go off on this path. So I love that David wants to take responsibility for it because it speaks of good character, right? To say, I must have done something, but also forgive yourself because clearly this is not the issue. I mean, maybe it contributed because of her particular problems, but I don't think it's the root cause. I don't think loving your kid, giving them everything you think they need or want when you're doing it out of love and trying to help them, I don't think that causes this kind of behavior.
If you go on the other side of it too, if you didn't give them and you did this and they had problems, you'd think the same thing. You tried, you did your best, and like Megan said. You've had positive relationships with everyone else. They're just some people. They have malfunctions, and unfortunately, I've seen how Leslie carries herself. Nobody's to blame for that but Leslie.
And the other thing is that she's always talking about her mental illness when it suits her. Some days she says she's mentally ill. Some days she says she's fine and she's not. But let's just say for the sake of argument, she's claiming she's mentally ill and I should know that, blah, blah, blah. All I know is what she's self-reported. I don't know. I've never seen a doctor's report. But if she is mentally ill, as she claims to be, then the onus is on her as an adult to go and get the help that she so desperately would need if she were mentally ill. And it doesn't appear that Leslie does that, because no doctor in his right mind would advise a person who's severely mentally ill to be obsessing about the social media and online and doing what she's doing.
There is no way. There's no way that she is doing what she is told. Like, there is no freaking way. Like, her attitude, her behavior, is the fact that she's up all hours, the fact she obsesses, attacks. I mean, some of the stuff she got into as well. I think mental illness is it's there, I would say, but it's also a smokescreen. It works to camouflage terrible stuff, because ultimately, at the end of the day, mental illness does not make you a bad person. That's the one thing. A lot of people excuse terrible deeds with mental illness, but there are a lot of people living with mental illness and they don't do terrible things. So it's not an excuse for terrible behavior.
No. And, in fact, that reminds me, there was a man that I grew up, my best friend's uncle had mental illness, and I don't remember what it was, but it was enough where it was probably manic depressive disorder, right? And you could see it on his face. He struggled every day. And yet he was one of the nicest people that I've ever known. So generous, so kind, but struggled. He wasn't an evil person. He didn't choose to do evil things, but he had internal struggles that affected his daily life. Sometimes he could go places. Other times he couldn't. He did end up having a good relationship and having a long-term girlfriend and someone who, to love. And it was good. I was so happy for him. But there are people living with mental illness. Georgie's Life Unfiltered, she talks about it all the time. She talks about her mental health struggles. She says it doesn't give her an excuse, though, to treat people terribly. And I agree with that. It doesn't. That's something that we should all be open about it. Yes, we should talk about it. Yes, we should talk about how to get help for it and be okay with it. But you don't use it as an excuse to stalk, harass, terrorize, do all of those things and vexatiously sue, and then scream, I'm a victim because I have a mental illness, which is what Leslie does. All right, so continuing the letter. Now, the next part of this letter goes into, Leslie has said many times publicly that her parents cut her off, that they've never given her anything, and that she has to do everything herself and pay everything herself. There is another side of that story. Continuing on with the letter, some examples of money given directly to Leslie and money her mistakes cost David and Kathleen during Leslie's adult life are as follows. Paid Leslie's car payments as an adult. Paid $300,000 in attorney's fees for her first divorce and child custody battle. Paid $150,000 for a townhouse and $15,000 additional for chiropractic school tuition for her in Georgia. I didn't know she went to chiropractic school. She must not have finished because she never became a chiropractor. Paid $10,000 for dance lessons and lodging for a summer in Los Angeles. Bought a townhouse for $170,000 in Baldwin Park on Orlando for her and her boyfriend, where they did $20,000 in damages.
Wow.
Gave Leslie a $30,000 cosign down payment for a dance school in Baldwin Park, Orlando. Gave Leslie $80,000 loan to cosign for her current home. Leslie abandoned David and Kathleen on a lawsuit that she was representing them on by not answering a judge's interrogatives and costing them $125,000. They had hired her for a lawsuit that they should have won that was an open and shut case. And because she didn't respond in time, they lost and had to pay $120,000. Paid approximately $5,000 in tuition for Bridgeport University Online. Paid $2,000 per month for Leslie's living expenses while she lived in Chicago. Paid $5,000 for her adult boyfriend to go on a ski vacation. Paid $30,000 for 2 weddings. And paid $1,500 a month for her house to house her grandfather in a guest area of her home. Watched Leslie use her college loan money to get breast augmentations while we were paying college costs. After all of this spending during her adult life, David and Kathleen were excluded from her college graduation. She wouldn't let them come to graduation. Can you believe this?
Messed up.
To this day, Leslie continues to threaten David and Kathleen with lawsuits and threats of psychological harm and financial damages, as well as threats of psychological harassment upon her retired elderly parents. And I also have multiple screenshots of text messages and emails that she sent to them proving what he is saying is true. I'm going to save that for Rumble. What I want to talk about here, well, maybe we should just talk about what we just heard for a moment, and then we'll get into that. Tug, what are your thoughts?
I think it's a sad story. I think that that's one of the things that we run across in this kind of stuff, that it's not just, say, a Jeremy Hales that is targeted. You have the people closest to these folks that are harmed the worst sometimes. And unfortunately, like you said, what advocate do they have? You know?
None. And I happen to know that her dad went to the law enforcement with this information and tried to get them to see that it was elder abuse, the text messages, which we'll go over, and also extortion, which it meets the legal definition. I mean, if you look at the statute of extortion and what extortion is, and we will do that in a bit, you'll see that there's actually, I can pull that up right now. They tried to get law enforcement to see it, and law enforcement was completely dismissive and said, well, you can sue her in civil court.
Yeah, of course.
It's a civil thing. Actually, no, it's not. It's a criminal thing, and it's on the books. And just because a person is doing this to their family instead of a stranger does not mean that it's not abuse. It doesn't mean that it's not extortion. It doesn't say that it's causing other people you don't know fear. It says you're threatening to expose something with the intent to harm them, cause them fear. And it absolutely, when I show you these things, you're going to be convinced that that was her intention. So let me show you the extortion laws. I posted this on Facebook earlier in preparation for all of this. I posted a few things. I want you guys to see this definition, because it's really something what the police are willing to ignore in Florida. Remove that, add this. There we go. All right. I know this is a little bit small. Let me see if I can I get closer? Yeah, a little bit. All right. Florida's primary extortion statute is found in Florida Statutes 836.05, which defines the crime of threats and extortion. This law criminalizes malicious threats made with the intent to extort money, pecuniary advantage, or to compel someone to act or refrain from acting against their will. The statute, and that's the part you need to pay attention to compel someone to act or refrain from acting. Refrain from acting is the key, because you will see in the email that I've attached to this, she is extorting them in order to keep them from doing something, keep them from talking. The statute covers a range of threats, including those to accuse someone of a crime, harm their person, property, reputation, expose secrets or deformities, or impute a lack of chastity. These threats can be verbal, written, or printed. The key elements, and I've highlighted the ones that relate to the emails that she sent, to injure the person's reputation, to expose another to disgrace, to reveal any secret affecting another. Now let's look at her email again. Her email says, I have now seen that Redacted has decided to join a hate group with people with autism on Facebook to harm me. If this continues and you do not immediately cease or restrain from doing something, I will file restraining orders against you and publish all records which I currently possess, which includes the following: police records of Redacted, battery, with felony police records with mugshot, which I have, amongst many other things, including Redacted's diagnosis for borderline personality disorder. You do not get to attack me publicly and believe I will not show the public the entire picture. I suggest all of you immediately cease before this gets ugly. I don't know how you could show this to a police officer in Florida with this statute on the books, and that officer can look you in the face and say to you, that's not extortion. You're going to have to file a civil lawsuit because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Now I want to do my job and ask the prosecutor to bring charges because there's murders to solve.
Yeah, they don't want to solve that either.
You know? I mean, this is not okay. And that email that she sent, now I've been careful to keep people's names out of this. Her father's the only one who has felt like he wanted to come forward. But she has terrorized everyone in her family. And I think it's okay for me to tell you that email with the extortion was directed at her own daughter. And for some reason, when your mother is threatening to extort you and private records or other things, the police say it's a private civil matter.
That's insane, by the way. Just that statement when your mother is threatening to. Why are we dealing with such great, wonderful people? I swear to God, these people, this array of Fruit Loops. By the way, apparently, Joe, apparently the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, he's terrible because he was a criminal, right? I heard that the other night. But
he's
having
a felon.
Yes, having a felon that blackmailed and extorted folks. Someone that actually, quite literally, stole from the elderly, the indigent, another person that, again, took someone from a guardianship, the thing they like to talk about, and tried to make them fall guy for an international fraud scheme. Yeah, those people are okay, though. I see. And the difference is, HALE's interviewed a guy. He didn't team up with somebody.
He's not teaming up with him. He just interviewed him.
Which was an interesting interview, by the way. I find Joe Exotic. I find him really. Let's throw that keyword TM fascinating. I find him very fascinating. I do though. Great. After he is a character and a half, and that show made it made people curious. But I went back and started watching a lot of his streams that were still up and other things. And that guy, man, he was something to behold. He was, whatever people think about him beyond that, it's interesting. And that's one of the things you do. You interview interesting people. I thought that was a hell of a catch too. Props to Jeremy for making that one happen.
I agree. I would totally interview Joe Exotic. Are you kidding?
I would in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. Yeah. I would never turn that down. You'd have to be crazy not to turn that down. That bitch Carol Baskin. God, that was the best Netflix movie ever.
It was, and it was everywhere. Everywhere. I've never seen somebody's
Oh yeah,
documentary pop
it
off
went
like that.
crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So, look, I just want you guys in the chat also to be sensitive, because you should probably have guessed by now that her family is most likely listening, and be supportive, because this is really difficult. And I want you to think about how much criticism we have had and still have for Laura Owen's family, who does not ever take any responsibility, who has never held their daughter to any responsibility, have enabled her entire adult life to allow her to defraud men and lie and commit perjury. They've been a part of that. And, Leslie's parents have not been a part of any of this. Leslie's parents have been quietly terrorized for the last 20 years, maybe. It's been a long time, a really long time. And I do want to say that they are scared. And Leslie is very good at manipulating law enforcement and telling lies about her parents that law enforcement, for whatever reason, tend to believe. They believe her, which is crazy to me, because we've seen the body cam footage of her talking to cops about how, Doritos turned off her internet. And it's crazy. Like, if I'm the cop at that scene, I'm like, this one is Looney Tunes, and I don't want anything to do, like, clearly, like, just write it up and let's get the hell out of here, because this is crazy. Yet she has some way about her that allows it hides this part of her behind like a screen, and they don't see it.
Maybe she breaks out that awesome British accent.
Oh, you guys, you're gonna want to see this. Okay.
Oh my
please,
God.
please do not underestimate what we have for you on Rumble. We have so much video, but I can't play it here on YouTube, because the second I do, the second her face is up, she will false flag for invasion of privacy, even though every bit of information I have on Leslie has either been given to me by sources or publicly available on public social media. All the
most of it, a lot of it available from her. Oh, and wait, there's something magical tonight. Very magical. I'm not going to tell you what, but there's something magical, and I spent a lot of time burning those damn things in, and I had to listen to it all. So you will love it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have all kinds of things coming up for you on Rumble, but before we get there, you guys, I've got transmission problems. So, we're going to have to ramp up the super chats and the super tips. If you can afford it, please do, because I'm in trouble. A transmission ain't going to be cheap. No, it isn't. And let's talk to Snurf McDaggle here. Snurf McDaggle has a super tip for us. It's $5. Thank you, Snurf. Play.
Given the amount of money she must have spent on that store-bought bus line, it is no wonder that Zuniqua Doctor wants to show it off. Homegrown cleavage is not that shape.
God. All right, I know what happened. Super Tips is underneath my icon, and I have to pull it up on top. There we go.
I think that changed the meaning of super tip.
It totally did. And Martin as thanks for the 5.
Is Legally Lips really Ada protected? Or does she use Scotch Guard in her bath?
I learned something new on Just J-Hip's channel today, which was he's AT&T protected.
Right, me too.
I am too. I didn't realize I was AT&T protected, but apparently I am. Yeah, I'm AT&T protected. So if they ever take my phone, it's fine. I'm AT&T protected. The ADA protected thing is crazy. Laura Owens used the same excuse. You remember that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. She went to in California. She put in this big thing that it caused a big, huge delay. that she's ADA protected and she needs all these ADA, what do you call them? I want to say accountability. That's the wrong word. Accommodations for God knows what. I don't know. It was internal bleeding or some other stuff, which wasn't happening because she was actually riding a horse at the time. She was jumping horses in competition. But they think that being someone with a disability gets you out of consequences for your own actions. I've never heard of anything like this.
They all seem to think that, and it's wild. You know, I feel so much sympathy for people who really go through a lot of stuff, and you know they struggle, but you can't make that other people's problems like she does. You know, it's awful, and she thinks her stuff. Like I said, she comes off like someone with an extreme personality disorder. That's the way she feels. Now, again, we can't remote diagnose her because we don't, you know, I've never sat down and gotten to ask her about the voices in her head or anything like that. But
I've got a video about that too. We have a video of her. I've got a video of her talking about that, about the different people inside her head.
These days, I don't trust anybody that's busted out. You know, you've seen the TikTok generation of, yes, I've got this debatable, if real, and if real, very extremely rare issue, and every 20 people has it. So I've got to where I doubt some of that. I think a lot of times, again, that points to personality. Again, extreme personality disorder issues.
Well, the Americans with Disabilities Act was intended mainly for employment, to keep people with disabilities from being unemployed and to make workplaces accessible to people with disabilities. So you think wheelchair ramps, elevators, widened doorways, you know, so that wheelchairs could get through.
Public accommodation, that's what we're talking about. Transportation, government services. So it's employment, public accommodation, transportation, government services. I believe that's there. And we're talking about with accommodations, they're supposed to also be reasonable accommodations. And
right, like if you hire someone who has to answer the phone and they have a hearing disability, then a reasonable accommodation would be one of those special phones, you know, or systems. I don't even know what they call them now, but they used to call them something when now I'm not going to remember, but it's like for the hearing impaired. That's a reasonable accommodation because they're very usual and you can find them and you can buy them and it's not a big deal. Or allowing someone to have a service dog, right? That's a reasonable accommodation. You bring your service dog. The service dog helps you in your job. Having a translator. Oh, I go to a specialist office where there is a deaf person who works behind the desk, and she has a translator who sits next to her and speaks she interprets for her. She's an interpreter. That's another reasonable accommodation, right? That allows a person with a disability to work in a job like anybody else.
Yeah, what it doesn't include are things like I can do anything I want and you can't talk about me. That is not included, period. That doesn't have anything to do with it.
It's not in the bill anywhere. There's public transit, there's work requirements, there's courts. And let me tell you what it is in court. A reasonable accommodation in court for someone with a disability is a hearing device. If you can't hear properly, they give you headphones so that you're plugged into the mic system and you can hear better. Again, all sort of the similar things. A service dog, an emotional support animal. Sometimes you can have like a support person, right? Your ADA person who comes with you to court.
Oh my God, that explains the 2L thing. They're not masochists and shit walking dudes around in dog masks. They're training service people.
ADA service people.
Oh my God, I never knew it. And when they get out of hand, you just throw, let's say, adult apparatus at them.
You guys also, speaking of
Oh my
adult
God.
apparatuses, that's another reason why we have to go to Rumble tonight, because I've got stuff to show you that has adult apparatuses on it. We cannot show that on YouTube. It is against YouTube's terms of service. Some of the things that Leslie's been involved in are not YouTube friendly. I have struggled with whether or not to show these videos and things, and some of you have seen small clips from them on Facebook today and on Twitter, because I've decided that yes, it is now reasonable for me to show these things, because Leslie Ferderigos is now a public school teacher. She's a taxpayer paid school teacher, and she gets held to the same standard that other school teachers get held to. And I'm sorry, but if a school teacher is making adult content, that is a news story. It is.
And
period.
You know, that's the thing. She thinks that all of this means special accommodation. No, it's to even the playing field. You aren't special. You don't get unreasonable accommodation. People aren't supposed to trip over themselves being like, oh my God, I can't do anything around that person. That's the opposite of what this is supposed to do.
Yeah, and you don't get out of accountability because you have a disability. Blind people go to prison. If a blind person commits a crime, they go to prison.
Yeah,
it's not like, well, he's blind, so you can't really ARP anybody. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was setting one up for a fall.
Yeah. Paint Chips was trying to set up a blind guy to go to jail. He failed, thank God. But listen, just because you have a disability does not mean that you get out of the responsibility of obeying laws. And you can be held accountable civilly too. She acts in a way that she believes she cannot be held accountable for anything that she does. And that is false. And we're here to show her that is false. Now, I know that she's going to throw a big fat fit. She may try to do something in the middle of this show to take it down. In fact, you know what? I need to put the banner up too. You guys can send Cash Apps and Venmos as well. Because I do have a feeling that YouTube might go down. And if it does, if she manages to get some kind of strike or, who knows, or get it taken down, it's okay, because we will be over on Rumble. So just make sure that you have the Rumble link ready to go. And also here are the links. I just gotta change this.
Hey, Leslie, if you strike one of these channels, I will take it out on one of your pals. I'm just going to say, not you, because you don't matter that way, because you're ADA protected, but I will take it out on one of your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how payback's going to work.
It is. That's exactly what I'll do,
Because we're not doing anything here that is against YouTube's terms of service. We're allowed to talk about public documents. I am certainly allowed to read letters that sources send me. And this has been a long time coming. I want everyone to know I've been very sensitive about the situation. I have not talked about Leslie's family until tonight, and only when I had permission. And I have been in contact with them for months.
Even when we could see this stuff happening publicly. So what's crazy is that the sock puppet account that she's using right now, the reason that any of us knew about that is because she publicly under something, an account that was hashtagged with her name all over it. That account that is using a real person's picture, a real live human being, where she's claiming that she's all these, in all these committees and shit. But she started going after her family publicly. And it was like, oh my God, and just that's, to be honest, that's why we kind of noticed the school thing, because she had brought herself, she started posting this kind of stuff on these same accounts. So she was posting stuff going after family. She started posting, like I said, school shit on the same stuff as well. So, it was like, wow, you kind of couldn't ignore it. Now we had said we'd already known what she'd been up to because she's so crazy. Of course, we want to know what the fuck she's up to. We want to make sure that she's far, far away from, and also at the same time, not running for the hills because she needs some accountability for the crap she pulled before. We absolutely want that. So, we definitely wanted to keep tabs on that. But we couldn't avoid what she was doing to her family, like I said. And,
anyway. Hangry came in here just now to show me this very cool shield that he and his dad made for his extra credit project tomorrow. He was all upset about it because he couldn't get it to work right and dad wasn't home. And my God, it's cool. They made a shield, like a Trojan shield.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta put he's so excited. He's jumping up and down. They spray painted it gold. It's like plywood shaped like a Trojan shield with it's like a circle with like a cutout at the top for your spear to go through, It's like gold with like rivets. It's so cool. Aw, he's so excited. I'm so glad. Anyway, but yes, this has been a whole thing. And like poor Leslie's family, like they've had no recourse for years and years and years and years. And it is a shame. Thank you, chat. It is a shame that it had to come to this. It really is. It brings me no pleasure to be reading a letter from somebody's dad who feels like he has to defend himself from this constant onslaught. But every day of the week, I will do that to help people who have been terrorized.
Sorry, I didn't mean to butt in there. I was just going to say, she kept them afraid and, kept them quiet because they were afraid that, she would just attack and terrorize them. Well, I'll tell you what, you do that, you go and make threats and stuff, then anything that they show me proof of that, I absolutely will show it to the world. So, your deeds are not, you get your power by trying to keep them you just step on them and try to keep them small. You terrorize and no more. I mean, I can't believe some of again, we're not just talking about like her father. I've seen publicly her going after a kid and stuff. That's just, I can't even fathom doing this in my life.
It gets worse. When we go over to Rumble, I've got text messages with her, not only going after her own kid, but other minor children in her family, extended family, her own mother, saying things to her mother that I cannot even imagine ever coming out of my mouth about my mother. Even if my mother was bad to me, like I know people who were abused by their mothers who do not say things like this. Like that's how bad it is. And I want this to be a record out there forever because Leslie's parents deserve it. Leslie's parents have sat back and taken in silence this abuse from her and her one-sided narrative that she posts all over her Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. She made an entire YouTube series about her mother that is nothing short of defamatory, hurtful, terrorizing.
Oh God, those are awful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe like the stuff we saw in that. And they were the same thing that we saw when she, she's done attack videos on other people, only they were aimed at her family. And of course, she's going to have spin for it. She always spins, but ultimately, God, like just imagine that behavior.
Yeah, it's not good. It's really not good. Okay, let's start. I've set a goal for 30 more supers, and then we'll get over to Rumble. But in the meantime, I want to go over and look at how this all started with Jeremy Hales. Lips has been. If you heard her last night, she was live with the Fleas, man.
Live.
And if you heard her, yeah, she was live. And she loves to say, I just got brought in as a legal consultant and I was so unbiased. I didn't know anything. And I was just making up my mind. And everyone just attacked me. And I'm just so innocent. I'm so innocent. That's her line, right? I have irrefutable proof that Leslie reached out to Jeremy Hales before he ever mentioned her name. And she sued him before he even mentioned her at all. So, yeah. On May 18th is the very first day, and she even acknowledges it in her lawsuit against us, that May 18th was the day she claims that Jeremy Hales said defamatory things about her on his live stream. Well, I went digging and I found that live stream and I found the things she claims he said about her. And I would argue that he was talking about paint chips. Now, yes, he referenced a weird email he got from some content creator, but that's all he said, from that content creator. He never said her name, who she was, anything about her. He did not say anything about her being disbarred. He was talking about paint chips very clearly. The other disbarred lawyer in Florida, is she unaware that there's another disbarred lawyer from Florida or in Florida who went to prison? Because that's who he was talking about. So I have proof that she sued him for something he said about somebody else. How crazy is that? But 3 days before this live stream that he even hinted at her, she sent him the craziest email I've ever read.
Oh no. I'm laughing because I'm thinking of that email. I'm like, oh God, it is crazy.
Oh yeah, we're going to read it. And by the way, here's something that's on that email that we did not know. And I'm not sure because it's gone now because she deleted her YouTube page and I'm not sure anybody got them. But attached to the crazy email were 3 videos that she had already made about Jeremy Hales on May 15th. May 15th was the day.
Why are you busting that out on my birthday? That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I'm April 15th. You're May 15th. How crazy is that? Also very crazy.
She was celebrating my birthday. She was like, you know what, Tug? I want to give you content for a year. I was like, well, there are better ways, lady. There are better ways.
So we have read this before on your channel, I think. But I want to go over it again because it is so nuts.
Yes. Well, everything, as I say many times, when stuff comes up, everything becomes relevant again. But it goes beyond that. I mean, the time frame becomes very important, first of all, because her own time frame is disputed with this. Again, she says, she never, ever reached out or did it. She just, again, unbiasedly talked about this and something about Megan Fox, that's in there as well. But
yeah. She reached out to me in April and I just didn't respond at all. And I didn't talk about her either until after she sued him. So I still had not mentioned her name by May 15th. So by May 15th, she was getting desperate that no one was noticing her. No one was giving her the attention she was so desperately wanting. She emails a man who's never heard about her, never heard of her, doesn't know who she is, Jeremy Hales, on May 15th. Here's the email. Hello, Jeremy. I want to first say I had no idea who you were or what YouTube channel you had until last week. I'm a retired lawyer who retired after defamation ruined my career. Now, this is interesting because Leslie is running around telling everyone that we ruined her career. Yet here she is on May 15th saying that her career was ruined by other people who defamed her sometime before this.
She also did that same thing in the pageant community. I was looking back over all of the stuff. We already captured those, by the way, Leslie. You don't need to delete them. But I already got those. I had them for a while, but I never paid enough attention. So I was running through them, and I noticed she was like, yeah, and the bullies, they come in to everything I do, and they ruin it, and it's like, wow. So in every walk of life, she has this consistent pattern of entering, failing, blaming bullies.
Yep. I mean, it's over and over and over again, over and over and over. It's crazy. Same pattern. I tell you this to let you know, I know very well about defamation. My name is Leslie Ferderigos. I was born on May 12th. 1977. This is like a Dickens novel. I was born. I was born. Like, does Jeremy Hales care about this? Absolutely not. Let me tell you how I reach out to people who are semi-famous or famous. This is how I reach out. Dear so-and-so, I'm a reporter. I would like to interview about this subject. Are you available on these dates? I would love it if you would contact me. Thank you, Megan Fox. That's it. Don't send paragraph after paragraph. No one's reading this. I bet Jeremy didn't even read this after the first 2 sentences. He got right about here. I was born May 12th, and he went, nope, garbage. In Illinois. I have remained living in Florida since I was 5 years old. I went to law school at 33 years old after being failed by the system and was on a mission to change the system, but later found out it was an impossible go. I have avidly sought wisdom through the understanding of the Bible. I have read the Bible multiple times in private, as opposed to on the street corner. Like what? In private. And to try to understand life, I have sought out understanding of the Christian faith from its origin as the Bible originally written in Greek. I sought to understand Judaism and Muslim faiths as the first monotheistic religions prior to Jesus. I almost lost my life in 2011. And during that time, I saw another level to our existence, which led me to no longer doubt the existence of God. Leslie, those were party drugs you were doing. You did not almost die. You had a bad trip and you saw Jesus, and that's what it was. But we all did that in 1994.
This is your first impression. Like, can you imagine writing someone and this is how you lead? By the way, folks, just to put this into perspective too, when you think about Leslie and you think about all the insanity, it makes it feel like all of that happened a million years ago. This is May the 15th this year.
Yeah, right. This is the first contact, by the way. When she says that we all attacked her and all she did was defend herself, bullshit. Wait till you see how dark and menacing this gets. This gets menacing.
Also, count all the eyes, because
I know this is crazy.
She's asking for another interview. So this was what
I walked away from my career because I knew. Oh wait, I missed a sentence. And during that time, I saw which led me to no longer doubt the existence of God. I walked away from my career because I knew for me to stay in it would mean I would have to harm people and live by greed as a lawyer. Long, complicated story. Well, that's interesting, Leslie, because I have a bunch of your ex-clients who claim you took their money and never did the work. Would you call that greed? I mean, and that she was written up for that by the bar a couple of times too, not showing up for hearings, but taking retainers. There's more coming. These victims are not done.
There's a lot of people reaching out. There's a lot. That's what she doesn't get.
I was approached a week ago about your federal cases and asked to interview various people. I could not understand why I was asked or why so many people are following or what was going on. I had no idea who you are, ever watched your channel. Honestly, it was never something I would have been interested in. Oh my God. Stop. What part of this makes her think that a guy she's degrading right now would want to talk to her?
I mean, really, who would want to respond to this?
Oh, the chat just caught something. She wrote this at 4:38 a.m.
Oh my
That's
God.
when this got sent. 4:38 a.m.
Well, I noticed a bunch of the crazy and shit pops off around 4, but weirdly, like, we had the holiday. So, I mean, there would be an off day still, as some people pointed out. But at the same time, she went through, she created 10 videos on that day. And then on top, that's only on one channel. Like, I don't know how many she uploaded to all these other places, TikTok and all of that, all that effort. But she was going and blocking people through after our streams. So somewhere between, well, I had checked her stuff at almost midnight, actually. So somewhere between midnight and 4, she was doing stuff. And then at 4:15 to 4:30, she uploaded more videos. So it was like, that's an entire night. Like, she doesn't stop. She's always moving and going.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay. I didn't know who you were. I would never have watched your shit. Initially, when I was told about your case, I naturally took your side because I experienced defamation and exploitation of $6,000 during the height of my career. I filed a case alleging conspiracy, defamation, tortious interference with my business, etc. Soon after I filed it, and I had plenty of evidence, I dismissed it because I realized those I was suing would never be able to pay me. If there was a judgment, the damage had already been done and my business was ruined and I could never recover. I was angry at life. I hated those people. I found them to be evil. I started to look into your cases. I swear, God has profound ways of teaching us lessons. I pulled your background. I read your divorce case. There's the first part that's real dark. I pulled your background. I read your divorce case.
Not only that, she got this stuff wrong too. So she put up, like, for her looking up his background, she pulled up one of the most generic reports, gave that to the world, by the way, told people to go to her site. She hosted it there. And part of that report insinuated that HALE's, again, wrongly had associations, we're going to say, with PDF files. Yet another one of these people was associating his name with a reputation killer. And she was doing this before ever. That was her first move. So you want to tell me that she had some...
some pure motive, yeah, sure. I was a divorce attorney in the beginning of my career. I started to watch your videos. I watched your videos and I researched you, not for the merit of your cases, but to see your character in these modern times. Social media influencer have become leaders. And with the role of a leader, there is a higher standard because people are following you and placing you in a high position. I also saw those you were suing and I saw their lives as disadvantaged. I heard your words about how you seek to hurt people with litigation. Of course, that's what Bruce said. That's not what Jeremy said. That's what Bruce says. So she did not hear his words that said that because he's never said that. I hear you call people names. Oh, folks, wait for it. You want to hear people call people names? You're going to hear Leslie call her mother some names. You're going to hear Leslie call her family some names. You're going to hear Leslie call me some names. The person who's so offended by Jeremy Hales calling somebody Deuce. Well, she called me, what was it? What was it? Oh God, what was it? It was so funny. We're going to get to it. We'll get it on Rumble. It's so funny. I'm thinking of adding it to my bio. A nasty ass bitch. That was it. She called me a nasty ass bitch. This one who says I heard you call people names. How dare you? I saw your blatant disrespect during your deposition. I saw your mockery of the defendants as you made them into characters, making fun of their appearance. Oh, really, Leslie? Because I've got some text messages from you to your mother that are really horrific, talking about her appearance, mocking your mother's appearance. What the fuck, Leslie? However, the most profound observation was hearing your own son's words about who you are. Again, dark, menacing. I expect at this point for you to become defensive, try to justify you had reasons to act as you did. I challenge you to continue to listen to me without anger or judgment. It does not matter who said or did what to you. It is never okay under God to seek revenge on anyone. Really, Leslie? How about your parents? Have you ever heard the "thou shalt honor thy mother and father" commandment? It feels like you may have missed that one. I could be wrong, but I think you did. Because you seem to be seeking revenge on them. For what? I have no idea. Because it sounds like your dad gave you close to $1.2 million over your lifetime. You should be thanking him.
That is insane.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's what he gave her. I want to remind you, you are in a leadership position with your followers. Who the fuck are you to tell Jeremy Hales who he is and what he's doing? Who are you, Leslie? But back the fuck off. Like, this makes me really mad, actually. You don't write an email. A stranger writes an email to someone they've never met, never talked to, and then you try to tell them what to do with their life. Who gave you that authority? Who died and made you God? Who died and made you Queen Elizabeth? Shut the fuck up. Like, this is so frustrating. This is one of the worst things in this email to me. It is so, what's the word? It's so in your face. It's so ballsy, but also not in a good way. What is the word?
Honestly, I believe what she's doing here is the epitome of gaslighting is what it is. That is really what I think, because look at the way that God, there's so much about it. She's like, me.
Yes, the chat's got it. Condescending, demoralizing, pompous. Yes.
Pompous.
Patronizing. Patronizing. Egregious. Yes, all of these words. Invasive. Imagine speaking to a stranger like this. Like, you are not Jesus. You cannot speak into someone's life like this that you've never met. You need a relationship with someone before you can say things like this. And the fact that you have no relationship with this person and you're trying to create some kind of pseudo relationship. I actually think she's trying to become Jeremy Hales's guru in a weird way. By the end of this, it's like, it's weird.
I think the correct word would be sententious. I think that's it.
Sententious?
Yeah, it's when you're moralizing in a pompous manner. Yeah.
Tug just completely threw me off. That sententious. I've never heard that word.
Yeah, I like that word.
I like that word. That's awesome. What an awesome word. I'm gonna have to add that to the word of the day.
It's easy to remember too, because sentence,
Sententious. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, she wants to be the Jeremy Hales whisperer. Oh my God, is this so creepy, man?
I believe they all were brought in to serve specific purposes. All of
this
them.
sounds like a stalker. This sounds like a stalker letter. This is one that you get with cutout letters from the magazine. Listen to how Tony Robbins she is too. Like, this is all like that self-help guru shit. Like, she's got it all together. Leslie, we've seen you. You are the least together person we've ever seen. Like, you need to get your shit together. There is no room for you to tell anyone else how to live. You do not know what you're doing. You are floundering. You are flailing. And you know what? It's okay to flounder and flail. You're literally drowning, though. Your life, you're drowning. It's okay to be drowning, and it's okay to be failing. You can go get help for that. You should seek a therapist, but do not dare to tell other people how to live. This is gross. This is the most, ugh. I'm just grossed out by it. Okay, let's move on. I want to remind you, you are in a leadership position with your followers, whether you appreciate that or not. I created 2 videos for you in hopes you could see yourself the way many are viewing you. I do not come to harm you. I'm reaching out to help you. I never asked to be pulled into the lion den, as I had no idea who you were before someone reached out asking me to help. Oh, someone reached out to you asking you to help? Why? Have you ever helped anyone?
For legal
It doesn't seem
consultation,
like it.
remember? Legal
Oh,
consultation.
yeah, right. Where's the legal consultation part? It sounds like she wants to be his guru.
I
I'm
actually
going to
think,
get, oh, here it comes. I'm going to get real with you right now. Ew. If you allow yourself to listen without becoming defensive, this could be pivotal in your life. You need to find your way back to God. You need to give yourself a rebirth and literally humble yourself and not be tempted by money or fame. As if Leslie Ferderigos has ever been humble in her whole damn life. This woman, if she's ever been humble, I don't think so. You have the ability to lead many people. This is why I'm reaching out. You need to leave a legacy of leading people as a good man, not a man quick to become angry and defensive, sees himself as a victim in his circumstances, seeking admiration from others. Who does this sound like? Someone who gets quick to anger, is defensive, sees herself as a victim, and also seeks admiration from others. It's literally Leslie. That defines her in a nutshell. Yeah, she should follow her own advice. You need to stop insulting people, no matter what they have done to you. How about that for you, Leslie? Can you do that? No matter what they do, no matter what we say about you, can you just chill out? Can you be chill?
I just hate that, you must turn the other cheek no matter how many times someone stabs you in the face and the back. And,
right.
like,
when
no.
someone is stabbing you, you need to just let yourself be stabbed. Like, what? You need to get your life back on track with God. I've created some videos in hopes you will keep an open mind and see why I'm even taking the time to email you. Yeah, you should feel really lucky and special I'm emailing you, Jeremy, because I'm Leslie Ferderigos. I'm special, even though I only had 6 followers on YouTube. I feel like I'm supposed to share this with you. I don't know why, as I don't even know you, but I'm open to helping you become a leader with character and integrity. This person who thinks she can help someone else be a leader with character and integrity, wait till you see her text messages to her mother. Okay? But if not, please know my intentions are only to make you see again, because I can heal the blind. I can put my fingers on your eyelids and heal the blind, so you can be what God sees in you and become something more than you ever imagined. I made these videos for you to see yourself and how many are viewing you, and to help you humble yourself and become the true leader God wants you to be. God bless Jeremy. Ew.
Very weird.
Very, very weird. All right, let me check super tips because we gotta get going, or we're never gonna get out of this. Okay. We've got Rozilla's Realm. Thanks for the 957.
She has her minor flaws, that's for sure. Have Brad tell you about her skills on the computer, and you'll have second thoughts about being a hacker.
How dare you, Lips? Lip is your father, your brother. Lip is your sister, your mother.
And Lady Tammy, thanks for the vibe.
I had to replace a tire this morning, so I understand the vehicle struggle bus. This is all I can afford now.
Oh, thank you, Lady Tammy. Isn't it terrible? Tires are so expensive. Oh my gosh. The worst. I don't know why super tips aren't coming up on the screen, but we're just going to pretend like they are. We can hear them, so I guess that's all that matters. All right. We are close to the goal. So we are going to head over to, I didn't check Cash App or Venmo, but I will do that because I'm sure that there are some. We're we're going to head over to Rumble because I have so much to show you guys. If you are new here and you have never done a Rumble exclusive, all you need to do is go to the description. And thank you, Lisa, by the way, for the Cash App to put towards the car stuff. I appreciate that. All you need to do is go to the description and click on the Rumble link. And also the mods are dropping that link in the chat right now. I hope. Mods, are you dropping the link in the chat? I feel like you are. I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. I'm looking at my phone. Patricia, thank you so much for the Venmo. Appreciate that. And we're going to head over there. If you are on the replay crew and you want to know, well, how do I find the right spot on Rumble? Well, that's easy. All you have to do is wait for the Rumble guy that jumps up on the screen and says, are you ready to Rumble? So when you go over to Rumble, you just kind of fast forward till you see that guy from the WWE or whatever the hell he's from, and then you start from there. All right, everybody head over to Rumble, and we will see you in just a moment as soon as I find the right link. Where the heck is my video for Rumble? There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen,